Hey guys, my name is Wildkard and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for subscribing and following my contents. All Blacks versus Pumas, Rugby Championship. Wow, man. This was a complete shutout by the All Blacks. Argentina couldn't even get out of the half for most of the games. And really what it comes down to this game, like it or not, the superior kicking game from the All Blacks. And Argentina was just constantly pinged inside their own 22 by just All Blacks being able to kick the ball from inside their own half, and also just being able to keep the Argentinians pinned with their just attacking, constant attacking and good pressure. Argentina did have really good defense for a lot of the game, not really letting the All Blacks through. And in fact, the Argentinian forwards did really well this game, doing really well in the scrums, pretty good in set pieces, and really turned that ball over at the breakdowns against the All Blacks over and over again to diffuse the situation. But you diffuse it, inside your own 22, you kick it out, the All Blacks gets the ball back inside their own half, and they just kick it straight back. And the Pumas once again ping back inside their own 22 and try to do this kicking game where the All Blacks just being able to exploit that space a lot more than the Pumas. And also the All Blacks really good at switching up the game as well, being able to just change the tempo when they get the penalties to take quick taps and really just exploiting those opportunities with the variety of different attacks, and just really pinging the Argentinians couldn't get out of their own half. It was really rough to watch actually. So maybe some of the rules needs to be changed, because a lot of times when the All Blacks kind of kick the ball behind the Argentinians and the ball rolls into the dead zone, instead of just grounding the ball for the Argentinians and then you used to be able to get a 22-meter dropout, now the Argentinians are trying to run the ball out, because if you ground the ball, it's a goal line dropout, so you get nothing out of it. So it really the rule changes has really benefited quite a lot for kicking. And just, I think some of these rules needs to be re-looked at, because whoever came up with this, Australians, a bunch of probably people hasn't really looked into the game properly and don't really know how little intricate details of the game. They just blanketed a rule that whenever the ball is, presumably dead in behind the try line, there's no longer a scrum, it's a goal line dropout. So the blanket change of the rule meant that if the All Black kick the ball into your end zone and you get the ball, you can't ground the ball anymore. You ground it, it's a goal line dropout anyway. So instead of a 22-meter dropout, so they need to change that, because the All Blacks really exploited that a little bit, and resulted in more kicking, something that everybody wanted to see. So that's one thing that needs to be changed. Just wanted to see. So let's have a look at. I just want a bit of an overview for the All Blacks performance. The All Blacks, despite having a really dominant shutout win over the Argentinians, there was a lot of small mistakes by the All Blacks. The All Blacks were getting turned overs at the breakdown a lot, especially in the first half, leading to 30 minutes of stalemate where basically All Blacks could not score, despite having all the territory and possession and the superior kicking. So and that's one thing. Second thing is Beauden Barrett. First half, when Beauden Barrett was on the field, his tackling was really poor. He did set up one beautiful try as a result of basically a quick tap from the All Blacks, and the Argentinians basically had scrambling defense, and Beauden Barrett were able to take on the line and then kind of shift the ball out wide, break a couple tackles, which did look like the old school Beauden Barrett again. But for most of the game, Beauden Barrett's attacking was really flat. His goal kicking, he was literally it was very kickable. There was a try he had to kick, which was maybe 10 meters off to the side from the goal, and he missed it, which was really easy kick, to be honest. It's not from the sideline or anything. His kick on field is pretty poor as well. So there was 2 times where Beauden Barrett, the All Blacks had, basically pinging the Argentinians in their own half, and Beauden Barrett had a full-on penalty advantage. He did a high ball kick to in goal for Jordie Barrett to catch, and this was really close for Jordie Barrett. He overcooked it, but Jordie Barrett has some alien technology that allowed him to float in the air. I kid you not. Imagine this, okay? The ball went too far. The ball's gonna go dead, or almost going dead. So Jordie Barrett runs in, jumps up in the air, catches the ball. As he's flying out the sideline, instead of getting his foot on the ground where he would be out, he somehow levitated Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, that's literally what happened. He somehow, like, levitated and managed to pull the ball down before his foot touched the ground. I kid you not. Go watch this. It looked like he fucking levitated. Okay? Like, I kid you not. Like, it was just, like, such a weird, like, thing to see. Like, his foot surely would touch the ground now. Sure. And then, like, instead of going down, he, like, lifted up so his foot was actually coming off the ground as he was coming down the air. But, yeah, it was really weird. But anyway, he almost scored. If the goal line had been, like, 2 inches thinner, he would have scored that. But anyway, so Beauden Barrett overcooked that kick. That's probably the main issue. And there was another one where he also overcooked a little grubber kick for Jordie Barrett as well. So yeah, not really accurate for Beauden. But there was a couple of times where Beauden did set up 2 tries, and yeah, that did look kind of good. But outside of those 2 opportunities, Beauden's just really flat. His like attack patterns that he's directing was just like really flat ball for the All Blacks, just like, you know, no one's going anywhere, just running, crashing ball. And Beauden also had a what was it? So I've also noticed that Beauden gets himself into the breakdown too much. So he would get the ball as a first receiver and just like gets caught in without being able to get the ball out a lot of times. So like he just end up with the really stale attack for the All Blacks because he's out. And then there were times where literally, I kid you not, one of the All Blacks gets tackled. Beauden thought he was a forward. There's no one needs to be there. He runs in. You know how sometimes the Rocks, you probably see props do this, like the boy's back, but you know, as a halfback, he wants an extra forward to be like at the breakdown to just give him a little bit more like coverage. But the forward is he just kind of like runs in and like, you know, latch on and just sits there and it doesn't actually push anyone. Beauden did that for TJ Perenara. I saw that and I was like, what are you doing? You're the 10. TJ Perenara needs you to receive the ball. Why did you run into the breakdown? He just like literally just went in as an extra like protector for TJ. I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, Beauden, yeah, if you play like that, mate, you're not going to get it too far against South Africa. So second half, D-Mac kind of came on, which kind of like his like the attack pattern looked a lot better for the All Blacks when D-Mac came on. However, D-Mac's passing accuracy is a little bit low. He threw a couple of poor passes, which could have led to a couple more tries for the All Blacks. But All Blacks were just pounding Argentina in the second half as well. The scrum was pretty poor for the All Blacks. A couple penalties, but when the reserves came on, the Argentinians, the All Blacks were able to stabilize the situation and got much more dominance over the scrums, over the Argentinians reserves. Overall, really good defense from the All Blacks, so Argentina couldn't really go anywhere, and then the All Blacks just turned the ball over. And unlike the All Blacks, who seem to be really confident at exploiting the space behind Argentina, when Argentina had the ball inside the All Blacks half, they just ran. Like, they were not happy to try to exploit the space behind with a bit of a chip or with a bit of a bit more kicking, essentially. So yeah, Argentina had one opportunity to kick a penalty goal from 50 out, and Sanchez missed, and that's it. That's all they had. That was literally zero offense. So let's have a look at some of the stats for the game. 702 run meters for the All Blacks and 186. Like, man, that is insane. Like Argentina really had nothing going for them this whole game. Let's see, 13 turnovers conceded for the All Blacks. So Argentina were just this is what kept Argentina in the game most of the time. So the Argentinian forwards were able to turn over the ball at the breakdown, something the All Blacks really need to work on to really secure that breakdown a little bit better, and only consider 9 turnovers for the Argentina. 200 tackles almost for Argentina, 30 missed tackles. Like, that's actually not bad. 15% missed tackles out of 200. Like, you've been doing so many tackles, you missed about 15%. All Blacks 9 tackle, that is actually insanely good. This is a number that you kind of need against the Springboks, under 10% missed tackles. But 15% missed tackles is not too bad either. Much better than the 30% missed tackles for the Wallabies. Anyway, kicks in play, both teams are pretty high. 33 kicks for the All Blacks, 34 for Argentina, and most of the Argentina kicks are just from inside their own 22, inside the goal line many times, just kicking the ball out so the All Blacks get another attack opportunity, just outside the Argentinian 22. So that's just basically the pressure from the All Blacks mostly. That there really isn't much of a strategic kicking from Argentina. One missed conversion by Beauden Barrett, and this was with the really easy one. And then, not conversion, conversion. And then, Jordie Barrett came in and just got like 100% of the kicks. So yeah, Jordie Barrett is definitely the cream of the crop of the Barrett family. He's someone that played really, really well in Super Rugby. I was surprised that Jordie Barrett wasn't, I'm not actually that surprised Jordie Barrett gets solidified into the number 15 position because he's just like technically all-rounded, the best 15 for the All Blacks. And yeah, like there were games in Super Rugby where Jordie Barrett literally scores every point for the Hurricanes, just carrying the whole team. Like forget about Lumape in center field, Jordie Barrett just does everything. So Jordie Barrett once stepped up this game and made the kicking like world class for the All Blacks, something that really needed. So lineouts was pretty poor for both teams. There were times in the first half, 2 lineouts lost. Both in the All Blacks attack lineouts were lost in the first half. Back-to-back lineouts where they could have have an opportunity to score. Lost to the Pumas, and Pumas also lost a couple of the lineouts throughout the game as well. Scrum, again, the All Blacks actually got penalized a couple more times, lost more than one scrum. The All Blacks had 2 penalties against them. So one of them they lost, but there were penalties against them in the scrums for collapsing as well. So Kyle Tuinukuafe had a bit of a tough time today against the Argentinian starting scrums. But in the second half, the scrums were late in the second half when the reserves came on. The Argentina's really not that good. Penalties considered, the All Blacks actually considered a bit more penalties. In the first half, penalties for the Argentinians just ballooned in the second half when pressure just came on and just couldn't hold on anymore. 2 yellow cards for the Argentinians. Yeah, a bit of a tough game for the Argentinians. So let's have a look at some of the details of the game. So I want to make this quick because the Wallabies game's about to start. So let's just quickly get through this. Right from the kickoff, there was a massive hit from the All Blacks to Argentina, and there was a huge ooh going around the field. So that kind of set the tone for the game. So Argentina actually had some really early opportunities to score right from the kickoff. So about 5 minutes in, the Argentinians were inside the All Blacks half attacking. But eventually, after a few fades, like again, they were kind of like not going anywhere and they were reluctant to take a little kick behind. Eventually, Brodie Retallick turns the ball over. He basically forced the penalty by tackling the halfback. I'm pretty sure he's offside. Nick Barry didn't think so. Like he literally the halfback picked up the ball. Brodie Barry was standing next to him. So that you can imagine how offside he was. The referee didn't say anything. And the referee was pretty poor this game. I'm not gonna lie. But let's not talk about Nick Barry again in this series. But yeah, anyway. So that led to the All Blacks being in the front foot, getting an early opportunity to attack 5 minutes in, right? So the All Blacks kind of like put a lot of pressure on for the next 5 minutes or so into the Argentinian half. Argentina were able to hold off again and again and again. But Argentina, like I said, he's there despite really good opportunities for turning the ball over at the line out. Argentina were only able to kick the ball out just outside their own 22. So All Blacks just be like, all right, we'll try again. Another line out from just outside the Argentinian 22. And eventually, the Beauden Barrett got the ball, right? And he took up the line, and then he tried to do an offload, and the offload gets kind of slapped down, I guess. Maybe a penalty there by the Argentinian defense. And then the ball bounced on the ground in front of Rico. Oh, by the way, Rico Ioane played really, really well this game. He was supposed to be on the bench, but he came in to replace Anton Leonard-Brown at outside center position. I think maybe something happened in Anton in training. So the ball gets slapped down just in front of Rico. Rico toes the ball forward, chases up, plants the ball down, try. That was, bit of a messy play, but Rico tidied that up. And Rico, every time he got the ball, was just electrifyingly good, scary. Look how he's gonna score. So anyway, he gets the first try. 10 minutes into the game, 7 points to nil for the All Blacks. A couple of minutes later, TJ Piranana tried to, again, just with superior kicking game, he tried to do a 50-22, but the ball, instead of going out in the 22, kind of rolled into the Argentina dead ball area. So Argentina, instead of putting the ball down, would not result in a 22 dropout now. This is what I'm talking about. So Argentina had to just take the ball and kick it, and ended up with the All Blacks getting a 22-meter line out, basically. So it is essentially a 50-22, but instead of getting the ball out inside the 22, the ball was stopped inside the end zone, inside the try zone. So so the All Blacks gets an attacking opportunity, and this is where the ball comes down. They set up for a more. and the referee penalizes Argentina for like offside in the maul. Bowden gets the ball, a cross-field high ball to Jordie Barrett, and this is where Jordie Barrett catches the ball in the air. He comes down, he looks like he levitated, some alien technology. Go have a look. I'm not too sure what happened here. Literally looked like he levitated. He did not touch the ground as he caught the ball coming down. Imagine he catches the ball up here. He managed to bring the ball from here all the way down, plants the ball before his full touch to the ground. In one movement. Tell me, he literally looked like he was levitating. Okay, it was just insane. And the ball unfortunately touched the try line just by a little bit blade of grass. And the referee ruled no try. And like literally, it was like if the try line, instead of being this thick, had been like this thick, would have been a try. So it was just, really, really, really close. So then following this, a bunch of mistakes by the All Blacks, 2 back-to-back line-out losses for the next few minutes. So really poor. But the line-out was pretty bad for Argentina as well. The All Blacks steals one of theirs in the next few minutes to play. One thing I noticed was kind of funny. So every time Sanchez gets the ball to clear the ball out for the Argentina, he's just like pointing at the referee like, oh, it's further up, mate, it's further up, further up. Every time he kicks the ball out, he's just like, oh, mate, this is further. Like, he just looks surprised, like when the referee's putting the flags up. And it's like both sides, so it's not like just one's referee. It's like both the touches, he's just like, further up, mate, further up this way. What are you doing further this way? It's just does that every time he kicks the ball out. It's actually kind of funny to see he does that. Again, for the next about 30 minutes, so the All Blacks scored their first try in the 10 minutes mark. They could not score again for 25 minutes. So there was just a lot of mistakes by the All Blacks. The Argentina were not able to get out of their own half, essentially, most of it, for the most part. But the All Blacks was pounding the Argentinians and then getting turned over again and again at the breakdown, losing their own lineouts. And then, and this is where I was saying, Bowden Barrett's attack patterns are just really flat. So the All Blacks just pass off, one pass, run. And Bowden Barrett gets the ball. He couldn't, make any play, gets tackled. And then he, in fact, even went into the breakdown to act as a prop, to block as a blocker for the halfback. What are you doing, Bowden? Did you forget how to play 10? But yeah, it was pretty subpar performance of Bowden. And then eventually, at the 32 minutes, on the 32nd minute, the All Blacks were attacking. Finally, Montoya tries again to turn the ball over at the breakdown, gets penalized for being off his feet. And this was right in front. And this was the first kickable penalty for the All Blacks after about 25 minutes of stalemate. And so they finally take the kick, 10 points to 0, 32 minutes. And after this, the All Blacks just kind of turned up the heat, I guess. And then the Argentinians kind of felt I don't know. So anyway, so a few minutes later, the All Blacks really tries to build some momentum. On the 35th minute, there was another kickable penalty, but this time the All Blacks are, okay, we're going to go for a line-out for a 5-meter line-out. So they kick the ball out for a 5-meter line-out. They set up a maul. The Argentina gets penalized for collapsing the maul, but it doesn't matter. All Blacks, again, one pass crash ball. Sever Reese gets the third one. He charges through, try. Only pretty close to the sticks, only about 10 meters away from the sticks, from the right-hand side sticks. So it's not that far of an angle. Bowden Barrett misses the conversion. And this is where he got sacked right after that. Jordie Barrett takes over. It's like, yeah, hey, bro, let me show you how to kick. And he comes in, takes the kicking duties. Bowden, how embarrassing. Having your younger brother taking over your kicking duties. Maybe Bowden's getting old. He's not even that old. He's 30. He's still in his prime. Got at least another 2-3 years in him. And yeah, he's just looking, it doesn't really look that good. Eventually, so the All Black gets this try. So just before halftime, the All Blacks are once again on the dot of halftime, 40th minute. There was a penalty at 50-meter out, and the All Blacks all right, we could kick for a goal, or we could go for a try. So the All Blacks, as they do, tries to go for a try. So they put the pressure on, and then the Pumas they kick the ball out for a line out. Basically, the ball comes in for the Pumas. For the All Blacks, they try to make a few plays, and the Pumas once again try to turn the ball over at the breakdown. Montoya and what's his name? Materias were both on the breakdown, and then they were both off their feet. I thought that was a bit harsh because there was no one in the All Blacks like clearing them out. There were just two of them in the breakdown. No one in the All Black team was in at the breakdown. So, and the referee says, oh, they're off their feet. So that's kind of like a poor call in my opinion. I thought, and then also there was like, yeah, but anyway, so the referee suddenly goes, oh, that's enough. No warning. Straight up yellow card to Materes. And then the All Blacks goes, all right, we'll take another 5 meter line out. All Black gets the 5 meter line out, come in, sets up a more with one player missing for the Argentinians. So All Blacks goes in for the try. So this kick has to be from the sideline, and Jordie Barrett takes over, slots it in, nice and easy from the sideline. Yeah, so really showed. So first half stats, All Blacks already had 372 round meters in the first half to the Argentina's 94. Okay, 7 turnovers conceded for the All Blacks. The only thing that's keeping Argentina like in the game. 45 tackles for the All Blacks. So Argentina literally did nothing in attack almost. And Argentina had to make 133 tackles. 7 missed tackles for the All Blacks. 14 missed tackles for the Argentinians. Kicks in play. 19 for the All Blacks. 17 for Argentina at halftime. Scrums. Lost lineouts. So there was 12 what was this? Yeah, 12 lineouts for the All Blacks. 2 loss. 5 lineouts for the Argentinians. Only 1 loss. And there was only 1 scrum for the entire first half. Penalties count 5 penalties for the All Blacks, 8 to Argentina with 1 yellow card. So that was probably a little bit premature for a yellow card. So the referee probably should have given him a warning for that because that was literally like the second back-to-back penalties for the Argentina. So yeah, Nick Barry. Anyway, I did notice that Nick Barry talks to everyone on the field. So there was a lot of times the All Blacks players that were not captains were talking to Nick Barrett and he's just like having a chat to everyone. You shouldn't do that, Nick. You should just like focus on the game because a lot of that is distracting you from doing your job, mate. So yeah, like literally you should just only talk to the captain. Like, no, why is, I see like Papa Lee talking to the referee. I see like, Brad Weber talking to the referee. Everybody's talking to the referee and he's just talking back to them. This shouldn't, like you should only talk to the captain. And that is actually like losing a lot of focus for Nick. So he's like a lot of this small stuff that he just, I thought he missed out. But anyway, let's quickly get this on before the Wallabies game starts. So second half starts, the second half starts 2 minutes in. There was the second scrum and All Blacks loses the tight head. They didn't lose the tight head. They get penalized for boring in on the tight head side. So right away, second scrum didn't go well. 2 minutes later, another opportunity for a scrum. And All Blacks gets penalized again for collapsing this time. So really, really big pressure under the All Blacks scrums right in this. When there was only 1 scrum in the first half, so there wasn't much like contest in that area. But second half, he really showed that the All Blacks scrum is a little bit of an issue against the Argentina starting scrum pack. A minute later, on the 45th minute, Argentina gets penalized for not releasing. So the All Blacks takes a quick tap from inside their own half. So instead of just change up the rhythm a little bit, so they thread the ball out wide to George Bridge, who ran down the sideline. He gets tackled. TJ Perenara gets the ball back out, throws into Beauden Barrett, and the Argentinian defense was like scrambling everywhere. And this is the one play where Beauden Barrett really did look good. He ran like a little angle, shrugged off the tackle, and then like straightened up again, and then draws another defender as he palms off the defender, gets his hand free, offload, and then the ball gets to, who was it? I think Jacobson. Yeah, he offloads to Jacobson, who gets in for the try for the All Blacks. So yeah, that was like, that looked good for Beauden, and that was probably the only good thing that Beauden did in this half. Jordie Barrett conversion was good. 29 points to nil for the All Blacks. 45 minutes in. So things are starting to look pretty bad from here on. A few minutes, so after this, I think Damien McKenzie came on for Jordan Barrett. For Beauden Barrett at 10. Beauden gets taken off. And then a few minutes later, on the 53rd minute, Sanchez from Argentina team gets off, taken off. Looked like he may have hurt his ankle or something. Looks a bit limping, a bit concerning for Argentina. They don't have a reserve fly half like Miotis, not on the sideline. So they have to put number 23 at the fly half position, which is, Boffelli in the fly half position. I don't think Boffelli is a fly half. I'm pretty sure he plays wing, or I'm pretty sure he plays fullback. But anyway, he's in there for Sanchez. And then, that just start looking really bad for Argentina because Sanchez is like their game plan of scoring pretty much most of their points. But the All Blacks' discipline has been really, really good, so really they didn't give Argentina any opportunity to kick any points at all, like in kickable range anyway. So on the 55th minute, there was, again, a lot of pressure from the All Blacks. There was a nice little chip behind by George Bridge. And then so George Bridge got the ball on the wing. He runs down the wing. He kicked the ball behind. Argentina gets the ball inside their own try zone. They can't ground the ball because it's not a 22 dropout anymore. So they try to run and kick the ball out from the 22 because he's going to goal line dropout anyway. And then, the ball ends up back into the All Blacks' hand just outside their own 22. And the All Black gets a second shot at attacking the Argentinian once again. So a lot more pressure from the All Blacks. So eventually they kind of spread the ball one way and then spread back on the other side. George Bridge once again gets the ball. This time he gets the ball. He had a bit of space. He ran up. He gets tackled just outside the try line. And then he slides in. And it looked like he scored. But he just get rolled out. Like, it looked kind of weird. So you look like he gets tackled, right? And he looked like he's trying to turn himself around to release the ball. But the people were just like sliding. And he actually slided over the line. And he almost scored. So if instead of like turning around and trying to like looking like trying to release the ball back, if he just had gone for it, he would have scored here. So the fact that he turned around thinking that he was going to get released the ball back is a bit of a mistake. George Bridge, to be honest, is not the best winger at number 11. His like execution in these little things, like that should have been a try. And he really didn't really have that hunger to go for it. So he missed an opportunity there. 59th minute, Severis. So All Blacks are pounding the try line again. Severis once again tries to go for a short pass ball. So Severis tries to go for another try. He gets a bit short and he actually almost gets there. He knocks on the ball. So with D-Mac on the field directing traffic at this point, the All Blacks really is looking at opening up a lot of more opportunities for the Argentina. Like every time Argentina kicks the ball out to the All Blacks 22, kicks out of their own 22, like the All Blacks basically straight back getting into the Argentina, 5 meters out again, just 2-3 phases later, the All Blacks right, knocking on the door about to score again. So there was, so a lot of pressure. On the 63rd minute, All Blacks gets a penalty. They opted for a 5-meter scrum. And then the scrum gets penalized. All Blacks really dominated the scrum. They get another penalty option. So the Argentina reserve scrum at this point is really, really struggling. So on the 65th minute, there was mounting attacking pressure from the All Blacks. Blackadder, again, so All Blacks gets really close again. Blackadder did the classic pick and crawl. He learned that from the Australians, Corambetti. So he pick and crawled. The referee says try. Argentina was protesting. And everybody waiting for the kick to come. And the TMO calls the referee, Nick Berry, saying that there was something to look at. They had a look. So it was pick and crawl. So no try, denied. So, but there was still a penalty advantage for the All Blacks for offside. And number 17 for Argentina gets penalized. The prop gets penalized for offside. And it was repeated penalties in the danger zone. So, they did get a warning this time, unlike the first half where Materials got penalized, got a yellow card without a warning. And now the All Blacks go for another scrum with one player missing for Argentina, 5-meter scrum. And then Jacobson, the number 8, pick and go. So they wheel the scrum one direction. Jacobson picks up the ball, goes to the open side, goes in for the try. Another 7 points for the All Blacks on the 70th minute. So on the 72 minute from the kickoff, the Argentina got a penalty finally, and then they kicked the ball out. Argentina got a penalty. So finally, Argentina were able to kick the ball out for 22 minutes line out for an attack. Pretty much like the first time in the second half, I would say. But anyway, maybe they had some more. But anyway, this is the first time at least Argentina really built some phases. Again, not really going any forward, and they had with Sanchez in getting subbed off, they really don't have anything going for them. 10 phases later, just being flat, All Blacks turn the ball over. no juice. And then finally on the 70, and then finally there was a bit of more back and forward. On the 77th minute, Argentina gets penalized again, and this was again a kickable range. And the All Blacks, I think, had some weird idea about getting a record, because last year they beat Argentina by 38-0, and then they wanted to beat that record, so they were at like 36. So they, instead of going for a try, they attempted for another 3 points. Jordy Barrett gets this one, 39 points on 0, just to beat last year's record by an extra point. And and then the final minutes, the Argentina were trying to run the ball out of their own half to try to make a final play. But yeah, just like the rest of the game, the All Blacks defense was too good. And that's the way it ended. Anyway, I'm going to go watch the Wallabies play. This was quite... Yeah, I guess the Argentinians really has no an offense. I mean, I don't care how good the defense is. There's absolutely zero offense. And All Blacks defense really improved this week compared to the previous weeks. Maybe because as a lack of attacking from the Argentinians. But yeah, this was pretty one-sided, like arm wrestle. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys a bit later for the Wallabies versus Springbok review. And thanks for watching. Cheers.